battle between the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 280. Sponge. No. 25, check 25. Shoot.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Check. Fresno. Check 37. Alert. Omaha, ready to move. Let's go.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Mike's 50. Go. Hey, Mike's 50. Check the out.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Right, 22. Got 4. Alert.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Check nickel. Shoot. 24. That's
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
You ain't going nowhere. 54.
From the 29, Watson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yo, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Swing. Double right. Hey, easy, easy.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 10.
And you're set. 180. Mike 50, huh? Hey, me and you. 11. I'm coming after you. Smooth. Mike 50, Mike 50.
Let's go, let's go. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Check three, check three. Hey, 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 hey.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Hey, motion, lock motion. Hurry!
Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
Now it's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. 12 yards there and a first down.
Let's go,
A gain of 12 yards. And the Lions first down.
Ready.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. No, no, no. Off. Hey, easy, easy.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
What's the run?
Hey, wahoo!
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Look at him.
Out of the gun, Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play there for Detroit, and even 40 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
To Johnson again. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Hey, Echo.
Let's go, Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Third and long. It's Watson. Completes this to Waring. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Mays, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check 99. Check 99. 54. Watch twins.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Hey, set. Yellow lady. 50 to yellow lady. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang.
They'll run on first down. Johnson trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Easy, easy. Like 22. Mike 50. And we got to get to the ball.
Bravo.
Let's keep moving.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Brings up 3rd down.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
And middle. You got 3 down.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike's 50. Come on. You better bring it. Hey, Mike's 50. Let's go, defense.
Stay 50. Stay 50.
From the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
And let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You've got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
Throwing again is Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 84 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defense coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10.
40 got. 15.
5.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Mike.
On 1st down, Stafford here. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Hey, I got you, son. I got you. You're all right. Rerun. You're all right. Kill.
Blue draw quarters.
36.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go. Mike's still.
Hey, Haywood.
Yeah. You don't want none.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
On 1st and 10, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
26. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Out of the gun, Watson. It's caught, Smith. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
No timeout.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Off of play action, it's Watson. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustmts that might be made defensively. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go. 51 to Mike. Hustle. Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. 51 Mike. 24.
Now Watson. He's got Fuller. The 40. 30. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller. 87 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. On first down, it's Stafford. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Brings up 3rd and
80. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Hey. Here we go. 0. 50. Mike 50.
Hey, box drop.
50. Mike's 50. He can't hang. From
the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now Johnson. Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Rush 22.
Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd and 4.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ballgame. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw is Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
51 to Mike, boy, 51.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing is Stafford. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Benardrick McKinney able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, It's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. Looking here for Smith downfield. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Vincent Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Hey, Charlie!
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, open is Powell. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Stafford now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hey, Zoom!
Operating from the gun. Stafford. He finds Riddick, complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Hey, give me radar.
To the air again, Stafford. The completion to Riddick. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 3.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, orbit.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Throwing again at Stafford. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Mike's 50.
Hey, high 7.
Slant. Watch the slant.
Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Buzz, be ready. Echo.
From the gun, here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
On first down, Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carl Lawson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Back to throw, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
I'm going back to you. 51 to mine.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Being chased out left. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble.
Let's get it.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down. Right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that really symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
At the 30-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Tight end right. Hey, we got 3 down. Whip.
Come on, Mahar, ready to move. Double right. Hey, Delta.
41's the mic. Check.
Back to throw, Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Let's go!
At their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
12 yards there and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Mike's 40. Mike's 40. I got one.
Watson on first down. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Keep it up, guys.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Completes it to Dixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Mike 40. Nice.
Throwing again is Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
4 down. Check. 40's Mike. 40's a Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
Throwing on second and long. Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Hey, Mike.
On third down, Watson. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check.
Small.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the 50, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
The 27-yard line.
Mike 50. Rip left. 50's the Mike. 50.
Stafford looks to throw again. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. J.J. Watt, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a half. He's going to let it fly. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Houston, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to